Good morning, friends, and welcome to Sunday. I'm Mariel Gallego, and I am sitting in for Ken again this week. And last week, I offered a talk on generosity in spiritual life. As I thought about what to share this week, I found myself leaning towards a continuation of generosity and the cultivation of the practice of generosity through metta, or loving kindness practice. A few days ago, my son and I were looking through some of his old clothing that I've been wanting to give away. I often consult with him before passing on his clothes to friends with younger children. There are a few items that he's attached to, usually anything with a vehicle on it. We've been holding on to a few fire truck t-shirts for the past year. When I held one up and asked him if I could pass it on, he asked if we could bronze them. He knows that you can bronze baby shoes to preserve them. And I chuckled to myself and thought, how cute is that? He loves this t-shirt. But I told him no, that we wouldn't be bronzing the shirt and that maybe it was time to let his little friend have it. I said to him, it's such a fun shirt. Wouldn't it be nice to pass it on so that it can be enjoyed by someone else? And he thought about it for a second and then he was ready. He said yes and helped me pack it up in a bag to bring to a friend. In tentative giving, the initial generosity comes with hesitation. We're ambivalent about what we're giving away, thinking that maybe we'll need it at a later time. And we keep it hidden away in a drawer somewhere, and then come to a place where it's time to give it away. When we finally part with it, we encounter happiness and a sense of freedom as we let go of this possession that will hopefully benefit someone else. And I found this inspiring to observe my 4-year-old son begin this process and this practice of generosity. A young woman I work with shared about how she and her family went to her aunt's house for Thanksgiving. Her aunt had spent several days in advance cooking multiple main courses and side dishes and desserts, including special vegetarian dishes for the young woman and her family who don't eat meat. And the young woman I work with was so touched by her aunt's generosity, this unconditional giving, the time, energy, and care that went into preparation of this wonderful food and being welcomed into her home without condition. Together, we reflected on how this young woman's meditation practice has amplified her ability to recognize, be with, and celebrate this generous act. How does one cultivate the heart to be more open and generous? Generosity is considered a deliberate practice where we plan and take action. One can cultivate this quality by giving time. There is a thought of giving. Anytime there's a thought of giving or an impulse to give, to just give. One can also schedule random acts of generosity once or a few times every day, whether it be money, time, attention, affection, words, or smiles. One can cultivate their capacity for generosity by taking action. I've been running a weekly meditation group for patients at my hospital for the past 8 years. We often practice metta, or loving kindness meditation. More than any other practice, I've observed metta to be the most transformative in how the individuals I work with relate to themselves and others. Generosity with actions, thoughts, words, presence, possessions, or resources, all relates to metta, this giving of care and warmth. A favorite memory of mine is when a group member shared after practicing metta. I imagine everyone in the group circle radiating energy of loving kindness in layers and levels, like a tornado of metta traveling through the universe. Metta is a wish for well-being for ourselves and others, friends, people we don't know, or people we find challenging. for all beings. We're not asking for anything in return. There are no conditions to this offering. Metta is given freely. Metta is the Pali word for gentle friendliness, for kindness, for loving kindness. The Buddha said that what we think about over and over again, to that our minds will naturally incline. So with metta, we are learning to naturally incline our hearts and minds towards friendliness. There's a specific technique to metta. Instead of resting our attention on the breath or the body, like physical sensation or sounds in the environment, we're resting our attention on certain phrases that become the home base for our practice. Traditionally, the phrases come from 4 different categories: safe and protected, physical health, mental happiness, and the ease of well-being. Ease of well-being meaning that may things in life, our work, our relationships, our livelihood, may things just flow and not be such a struggle. I first learned metta 9 years ago at a meditation retreat with Sharon Salzberg. And I like to use the phrases that are taught by her, but you can play with the phrases and pick 3 to 4 that are meaningful to you. So phrases like, may I be safe? May I be happy? May I be healthy? May I live with ease? May I be safe? May I be happy? May I be healthy? May I live with ease? We traditionally begin metta by offering the phrases in a way that gently and gradually opens the heart, beginning by offering to ourselves or benefactor being a living being, someone who's been good to us and who we love easily. Often it could be a beloved dear friend or a grandparent, a pet or a child, someone generally who's alive. And when offering metta to the self, you can send loving kindness to yourself as the person that you are in this very moment today. Or you could also imagine sending it to a younger version of yourself. I work with a young transgender man who, when he offers himself metta, he imagines himself as a young child who was in the wrong body and really needed kindness and care. And he imagines sitting his young child self on his lap and offering the phrases to this self state. And then we gradually open our hearts to like a neutral person, someone who's in your life, but who you don't have a relationship with necessarily. You might not know their name. It could be a security guard at work, the checkout person at the grocery store, or a neighbor that you see on occasion. The neutral category is a stand-in for all of humanity. There are 7 billion people whom we don't know much about, and we don't feel for them one way or another. And this practice creates connection, and it links us together, links humanity. And then we can move on to someone we're having difficulty with, not the most complicated person, or someone who will trigger you, maybe choosing someone who's moderately annoying, who you can see some goodness in. The idea is that we're slowly and steadily opening the heart to include more and more beings. Eventually, we then include all living beings. And it's possible to include all of these categories within one sit, for 30 minutes, a few minutes per category. But you can also just spend 20 minutes on yourself, or a dear one, or a benefactor, or the person you're having challenges with. You can do this for weeks at a time, or change it up day by day. Metta can be a creative process, and as you practice, you'll feel what's right to you. I'd like to share a story about David, a gentleman from my weekly meditation group. So his name and any identifying information have been changed to protect his privacy. At a time when our group was practicing metta for weeks at a time, David shared a story of how he was walking to the store to pick up groceries when he noticed a distressed elderly woman with some pizzazz, he said. She was wearing a Burger King crown and was carrying garbage bags filled with items from people who were in their cars waiting for a parade to start. She'd walk up and down the street uh, and then turn around, making her rounds, he said. When David came out of the store, this spirited woman was accepting money, food, and water from the people in the cars. She then approached David and said, "Show me what you got. What have you got in that bag?" And he noticed himself recoil. He thought she was quite forward and asking for more stuff, considering that she already had bags full of food and water. Nonetheless, David let her look into his bags and offered her some water, which was warm, and she readily accepted it. They walked up the street together, talking, and then she turned off to a small alley, and he kept up the block to go home. And David looked back and saw her connect with a large group of what he assumed were homeless people who were camped out there. And she was sharing everything that she had gotten from her rounds. After practicing metta in this particular group, David reflected, you never know what more there is to someone's story. There's always more to what we see. And I want to be mindful of what I see and not be interpreting that. We never really know what's there. That's the challenge, taking it all in and being with it. He saw just how beautiful that experience was to witness this elderly woman's care and generosity. He was happy to contribute in some small way and was inspired to do more. There's a line that I've heard in various Buddhist teachings that I reflect on. It's be kind to every person you meet because each one has been asked to carry a great burden. We don't often go through life without having some burden. If you scratch beneath the surface, we see and hear the burdens people are carrying. And as a student of the Dharma, I'm incredibly moved by the weight and burden of what people carry. So I'll invite you to sit together. So, settling into the body, and grounding the feet to the floor. Finding a comfortable way to sit. You can lower the gaze or close the eyes. Feel the breath as it moves through the body. As you arrive in your seat, notice the simple pleasure of that experience. Perhaps there's a sense of ease or familiarity in this posture. Metta is a practice that's easier to do when you're physically comfortable and as still as possible. Any movements are better done with gentle awareness. I'll invite you to bring your attention to your mouth, curving the corners of your lips. Feeling a slight smile. Smiling naturally inclines us toward feelings of ease and well-being. Relaxing the shoulders, and let the arms and hands rest easily in your lap or by your sides. Letting the belly be soft and the breath is natural. Allowing the heart to be soft, to receive whatever's arising with kindness and compassion. It's often easier to begin the practice of loving kindness by directing your attention to those you love and care about. Because often when people can find it difficult to direct love to themselves, you're able so if you're able, visualize, imagine someone in your life who's very dear to you, where love comes easy. And you can use the first living being who comes to mind. Just follow your instincts. Start where it's easy to first open the heart. Many begin with a beloved grandparent, child, or a pet. Getting a felt sense of their being. Breathe gently and quietly and silently in the back of your mind. You can recite the phrases of loving kindness. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. As you repeat these phrases, hold this dear one in loving kindness. Adjusting the words and images to best open your heart. Repeating these phrases and kind intentions over and over again, letting the feelings permeate your mind and body. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. This practice may at times feel mechanical or awkward. If that happens, just observe it. Be patient and kind toward yourself, allowing whatever arises to be held in the spirit of friendliness and kindness. And now I'll invite you to picture a benefactor, someone in your life who's loved and cared for you, where love and good feelings come easily. Picture this being and carefully recite the same phrases, extending the same wishes of loving kindness to them. Simply continue to plant the seeds of this gentle friendliness, repeating the phrases gently, no matter what arises. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And now, if it's possible, see if you're ready to offer loving kindness for yourself. Envision or imagine these two dear ones gazing back at you with the same well wishing. They want you too to be held in loving kindness, to be safe and well, to be happy. Picture them saying this to you kindly. May you too be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Receive these wishes gratefully, repeating the phrases for a few repetitions, taking their good wishes into yourself. And then eventually offering the phrases to yourself. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And let's continue to open the heart. I'll invite you to bring to mind someone you don't really know, but is in your life some way. Someone whom you have neutral feelings. Someone you know, but don't necessarily have a relationship with. Could be the checkout person at the store, security guard, the neighbor you pass on the street but never spoken to. Choosing just one of these individuals and get a felt sense of them and offer the phrases of loving kindness, knowing that just like you, they wish to be happy and at peace. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. When the mind wanders, you bring it back and come home to these phrases, focusing your attention on this neutral being. And now I'll invite you to imagine that you are bringing together all that you've just offered this gentle friendliness to the dear one, your benefactor, yourself, the neutral person, holding yourself and these others in your heart, sensing your shared humanity and your basic goodness. Sending loving kindness to all at once. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we live with ease. Metta is like a gentle rain that falls on everything without discrimination, doesn't leave anything or anyone out. Let's bring our attention to the body, knowing that there is a heart that is capable of tremendous love and connection for ourselves and for all beings. And notice whatever is happening in that place in your heart. Resting your attention in the heart center. And breathing in and out through the heart. Gently expanding your heart and the practice to include more of your family, your friends, community neighbors, people everywhere, animals, all beings, Mother Earth, in whatever way feels right to you. Gently expand and include more and more beings. In the last minute or so of today's practice, I invite you to really be present, your wishes for the well-being of those who are offering your practice to. May the merit of today's practice benefit all living beings everywhere so that they may be free from suffering. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. And may all beings live with ease. So thank you for your practice today. And apologies for my cough, getting over a little cold. Ken will be back next week, and I look forward to sitting with you again. Thank you so much.